The media's fixation on the allegations leveled against Daystar TV has prompted Christians to express grave concerns. Critical journalism has been embraced by one of the largest Christian television networks due to their actions. This whole mess stems from the Roy Report TRR, a news group known for exposing religious groups' unethical and moral practices. Several investigative stories have chronicled the heated dispute between TRR and Daystar. These allegations state that the network covered up the sexual abuse that occurred within the family of the network's founders. Allegations in and of themselves are shocking and serious. Former Daystar VP Jonathan Lamb and his wife Susie have accused current Daystar president Joni Lamb of covering up the sexual assault of their daughter at the hands of a family member. Daystar has strongly denied all of the allegations, but in response has demanded that TRR delete the remarks and accuse them of starting a smear campaign. Christine N. Jones, the attorney for TRR, pointed out in a precisely worded reply letter that the network's request neglected to handle the primary issues. Daystar has failed to provide compelling evidence to refute the assertions thus far. Rather, they have made empty accusations and denied everything. This has led to heightened suspicion and inquiries into the openness and responsibility of Daystar's management. The allegations of abuse are only one part of the case. This runs counter to all that is right about free speech journalism and the responsibility of Christian groups to maintain moral and ethical excellence. Once Daystar learned about the situation, they threatened legal action without offering any proof. This exemplifies a larger pattern of powerful firms ignoring and repressing criticism. The information that Susie Lamb and Jonathan provided to TRR has been accurately reflected in all of their coverage. Amidst intense financial and legal pressure, the news agency stayed steadfast in its commitment to reporting the truth. This shows how important it is for nonprofit news outlets to demand accountability from powerful groups. Christians must speak openly and honestly with one another. This is an important part of the fight against abuse and cover-up charges. The events that unfold in the novel are a depressing reminder of how easily individuals may be manipulated, even when they claim to be guardians of divine values. Also, it's a warning to people of all faiths to be vigilant and demand truth, responsibility, and justice from those in authority over them. A lot of people will feel the effects of the story's conclusion, not only Daystar and the Lamb family. It will also significantly impact Christian television and the struggle for truth in an increasingly ideologically divided society. Our first story about the sexual assault allegations and possible cover-ups at Daystar TV ran 4 days before the lawyer for Daystar replied to the Roy Report TRR. The two claims were leveled. The letter demanded that TRR and I retract our opinions and accused us of spreading a smear campaign. Christine N. Jones, our lawyer and a member of TRR's board of directors, has reviewed the demand letter that Daystar filed. According to John's response letter, Daystar did not provide evidence that any of TRR's reports were false. With this justification in hand, TRR will reject Daystar's demand for retraction. According to Daystar's 10-page letter, our initial item was published on November 20th, 2024, and it spread incorrect information regarding the sexual assault of the child of Jonathan and Susie Lamb. False accusations of sexual abuse and an alleged cover-up formed the basis of the entire thesis, which was stated explicitly in the initial letter. As a result, attorney Michael D. Anderson argues in a letter that TRR should immediately abandon all of its claims. The letter asserts that, all things considered, the report contains 28 errors. Former Daystar executive and wife accused Joni Lamb of covering up daughter's sexual abuses, one title that the letter strongly disagrees with. Joni Lamb is not guilty of sexually abusing Jonathan and Susie Lamb's child. As stated in this letter, this is an undeniable fact. None of this was done by her. Additionally, a 21st November 2024 follow-up article in TRR titled "Susie Lamb Says She Was Pressured to Hide Sexual Assault Has Issues." Several points in the letter point out how absurd this claim is. There was never any pressure on Susie to conceal the fact that she was a victim of sexual abuse while working at Daystar. Similar to the narrative published on November 20th, the letter for the article published on November 21st is based on fiction and alleges a cover-up and false accusations of sexual abuse. For that reason, TRR should immediately retract any and all words it publishes. The issue with Daystar's letter is that it asserts, without providing evidence, that the information provided by TRR is untrue. In reality, according to Jones's assertion in our response letter, the truth is perpetually a defense in defamation cases. Simply claiming that the proposition is untrue is not enough. One thing that Jones says in every libel case is every plaintiff will say in court that they think the statements that were published are false. Anyone could get past this condition if this were the only one. In the case of Dallas Morning News Company v. Garcia, the plaintiff claimed that they believed the defendant's statements were untrue in a libel suit. Using the defense of truth, Jones suggests that news organizations can be held responsible for fairly reporting the opinions of outside experts on public issues. This is an intriguing topic. In other words, if Daystar alleges that TRR reported fraudulent claims made by a third party, then Daystar has the burden of proof to show that both the remarks themselves were untrue and that TRR had relied on the third party's misleading information to report the allegations. Daystar found our original article's title, "Former Daystar Executive and Wife Accused Joni Lamb of Covering Up Daughter's Sexual Abuse," to be misleading and inaccurate. Jones responds with the words, "This is not false." Joni Lamb allegedly covered up the fact that her daughter had been sexually molested, according to former Daystar CEO Jonathan Lamb and his wife Susie Lamb. Susie Lamb also acts as Jonathan Lamb's representative. Despite what you claim, the accusation that Joni Lamb hid the sexual assault that Jonathan and Susie Lamb's daughter suffered at that time is not made directly and falsely in this declaration. Nevertheless, the use of this language demonstrates that TRR accurately recorded a third-party assertion regarding a public matter. In its letter, Daystar commits multiple identical errors. When her husband, then Director of Operations Jonathan Lamb, told his parents about it, they buried the assault TRR supposedly claimed, but that's not accurate. This statement is allegedly made by TRR. According to Jones, the following is the complete paragraph from the article, but when her husband, Jonathan Lamb, who was Director of Operations at the time, told his parents about it, they buried the assault. If Jones's return letter is to be believed, this statement faithfully portrays the views of Jonathan and Susie Lamb on a significant public matter.